experiment was the effect of vinegar on the release of calcium from eggshells. The question of this experiment was, do different levels of vinegar concentration affect the release of calcium from eggshells? The hypothesis was, if eggshells were treated with various concentrations of vinegar, then the release of calcium from eggshells would increase. The dependent, independent, and constants are mentioned in this slide. Calcium is an essential nutrient to plants. It plays an important role in cell wall and cell membrane stability. Chang et al. 2013 cited that crushed eggshells applied alone contain an insoluble form of calcium in the form of calcium carbonate, which is not available for plant uptake unless it is ground very finely. Mitchell's 2005. Hodges 2010, as cited by Chang et al., contends that when eggshells are mixed with a weak acid such as vinegar, a chemical reaction occurs, converting calcium carbonate to calcium acetate, a more available form of calcium. The materials in this experiment were chicken eggshells, distilled water, and acetic acid. Other materials used in this experiment are listed here. The eggshells were collected, washed with water, and the inner membranes were removed. The eggshells were crushed into fine pieces. Different concentrations, 0%, 3%, 6%, and 9% of vinegar were made using distilled water and acetic acid. 3 beakers were each filled with 500 milliliters of 0% vinegar solution. The same were done for the 3%, 6%, and 9% vinegar solutions, filling a total of 12 beakers. 100 grams of eggshells were added to each beaker, allowing it to soak for 48 hours. After 48 hours of soaking, the mixture was filtered, and the filtrates were sent to a laboratory for calcium analysis. The results show that the level of concentration of vinegar significantly affected the amount of calcium released in eggshells after soaking it for 48 hours. Among the treatments, the eggshell samples soaked in distilled water had the lowest amount of calcium released. The calcium released significantly increased as the level of the vinegar in the soaking medium increased, with the highest obtained from the 9% vinegar solution samples. The results confirmed the earlier qualitative findings that the rate of the chemical reaction converting calcium carbonate is affected by the concentration of acetic acid. The higher the concentration, the more calcium that will be released. Table 1 shows the amount of calcium released from 100 grams of chicken eggshell after soaking them for 48 hours in different concentrations of vinegar. This graph illustrates the directly proportional relationship of the calcium released and the concentration of the vinegar solution. The calcium in eggshells is in a bound form that will take years in the soil before it becomes available for plant nutrition. The study aimed to determine if soaking it in different concentrations of vinegar will increase calcium release. 100 grams of eggshells were each soaked in different vinegar concentrations. The eggshells soaked without vinegar showed the smallest amount of calcium released, and the eggshells soaked in the highest concentrations of vinegar showed the greatest amount of calcium released. These results support the experiment's hypothesis. Treating with eggshells with vinegar increases the release of calcium. In this study, the eggshells did not completely dissolve. A possible explanation is that there were more eggshells compared to the acetic acid oversaturating the chemical reaction. If I were to redo this study, I would use less eggshells. Another experiment for the future is to use the solution as liquid fertilizer to plants. How much solution will promote optimal growth? Thank you for listening to this presentation.